and good evening and welcome to Chaturday Live. My name is Jay Robinson, the host and producer and everything else for the show. And we're here on this fantastic Saturday evening, sunny Saturday evening here in Cumbria to give you another fantastic show. I hope everybody's doing all right. Tonight's guest is very nervous, so as much support as possible will not be missed. They will appreciate that. So a little bit about it. So we've got Kerry from Rhodes to Recovery on the show tonight. She's going to be speaking to us obviously about her Facebook page, her art, obviously her own personal issues or lifestyle, suffering with mental health and bipolar, her career working as a support worker, absolutely everything. We're going to go from start to finish and go through it all. I know, like you say, she's very, very nervous. This isn't her cup of tea. This isn't something she's doing. She's out of her comfort zone. And she's doing it, obviously, for me, because I've asked her very nicely. And a lot of people have pushed her into it because she's a fantastic person. And I hope you guys will understand that as well. She's a very fantastic person. And that will come across. Like you say, what we're going to do, we're just going to chin wag. We're going to have our cups of tea. And Kerry's having a Coke, I swear. She's laughing now. I can see her in the corner of the screen. That's fine. Like you say, it's all about, we're just going to get to know Kerry and her Facebook page, because if you haven't already looked at her Facebook page, Rhodes to Recovery, you can find it on Instagram and Facebook. We'll put the link up later on. It's an inspirational Facebook page for the idea that somebody who has no connection with social media whatsoever has stepped outside of their comfort zone, put something together, put themselves out into the world on social media and the internet. And I tell you now, I'm glad she has, because the artwork's fantastic. The messages that she leaves for followers is fantastic on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm hoping tonight you guys will see a little bit of that as well. So without any further ado, please help me welcome the one and only Kerry Humphrey. Hi, Kerry.
Hi, you alright?
Yeah, you. Got that nervous smile on. There it is. Right, Kerry, we've got you on this show because, like you say, we've stumbled across your Facebook page. And obviously, I've seen you around doing your artwork at the football club where I work. Really, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to get to know you a little bit more, but obviously we're going to go through the start all the way through to the finish, get to know you, get to understand why you've done the Facebook page, and really the reasons behind it, if that's okay. So if you don't mind giving us a bit of a brief description of who you are, tell people who you are, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, well, I'm Kerry. I have bipolar and personality disorder. I'm a support worker, absolutely love my job, keeps me on my toes. I'm a mother of 3 kids, and in my spare time I do things like my Facebook page, my art, my Rhodes to Recovery, things that I love. Sorry, I've just been into it.
We knew this would happen straight away, that's fine.
I'm so sorry.
I do apologise.
Yeah, so I do things like that. I love art. It just keeps me busy. And sorry.
No, you're all right.
There we go. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it keeps me busy in my spare time. Yeah, and I love it. I help out with things as and when I can. I love exploring nature, walks. Especially in this lockdown, it's got me out and about, helping mentality, things like that. But yeah, that's a little bit of an insight about me.
Good. That wasn't so hard, was it?
No.
There you go, nice little brief description.
3-year-old moaning. Sorry.
No, don't be silly. Right, what we're going to do, like you say, throughout the show, I'm gonna flick over, I'm going to share the screen so people can see a bit of your artwork if they already haven't, and we'll go through it and explain it as well. As you said there, you've openly said obviously on social media, and that's what you've done on your Facebook page. Yeah. You've specified obviously that you've got bipolar, obviously mental health's a big issue, meaning 21st century as it is. So we're going to just go and explain for those that don't know then. So when somebody uses it maybe in a jokingly way, as in a non-offensive way, say, oh, they're a bit bipolar because they're up and down. I mean, it's not quite as black and white as that. So what is bipolar for those that don't know?
Bipolar is hard work for me anyway. It's actually exhausting. 1 minute when I say 1 minute, it's not. With bipolar, things can last for a long period of time. So my downs can last for several weeks, several months, like literally doom and gloom. So when I'm in that depressive state, things like even holding a hairdryer to do my hair, like self-care, is such a hard workout. That's how it feels. That by the time I finish, I'm simply exhausted. Getting out of bed, I just want to just pull the sheets back over me and not rise, because I just don't feel like I've had enough sleep. I could be sleeping like 12, 14 hours and still feel like I've not had enough. Conversations with people, things don't sink in, things don't come out the way that I want it to come out either. Everything's a lot slower. Affects me with my work because I'm not as up and upbeat, you know, and on it as much as what I'd want to be. But then that's when the guilt comes in, because I'm thinking, I'm not doing this enough. Why can't I do this? You know, can I do this tomorrow? Everything, your mind doesn't switch off. So you may say to me, Kerry, you know, tomorrow let's pick up this a little bit more. In my head, I'm thinking, right, am I going to lose my job? Have I done this enough? Am I a good enough person? Do they like me? Like, it goes into everything. Your mind goes into overdrive. And then on the other side of it, when I'm in my mania state, mania doesn't mean that I'm happy. Mania just means that I can literally not stop. So when somebody says to me, maybe that's your mind trying to tell you to slow down, try telling my mind to slow down, because it doesn't. I then need to go, right, I'm doing my art. Now, when I did my art, when I was on my mania like stage of things, I literally drew 5 drawings in one night, and I'm still awake at 3 o'clock in the morning drawing and still can't switch off. I then go from the opposite of what needing like 12 to 14 hours sleep to only needing like 2 to 4 hours sleep. And it is draining because like, I can't slow down, I can't stop. My speech then goes like 100 miles per hour. I'm buzzing. So at work, it's great because I get out and about, get the lads, you know, promote their independent lifestyle and stuff. Kids love me, think I'm the female version of Peter Pan. You know, so like it swings its roundabouts. But when the two don't balance out, I am either at the top of the roller coaster or at my lowest point. And that's how I explain it to my children. So I've got 3 children. One's 10, one's nearly 9 end of this month, so it keeps reminding me, and one's nearly 3 again, so it keeps reminding me. And obviously to explain it to children, like mummy is a roller coaster, and some days I'm okay and some days I'm not. But my bipolar lasts for longer periods, whereas my personality disorder, I could be a different person 4, 5, 10 times a day and use those words, I'm fine, when actually I'm not. It's just this persona or this other person comes in, and I'll be really, really confident, or somebody that's actually anxious as hell and can't even face the world. So it's a bit difficult, because if I just had the one, then at least it'd be a bit more manageable. But because I have the two, it's like I don't switch off. I don't. Never.
With bipolar, so is it again, we're going down the naive state, as I said to you beforehand. Yeah. We're going to ask you as the most plain and naive way as possible. Is it, like you say, a flick of a light switch, or is it like a gradual, you can feel yourself going into, you know, a different, you know, mood state? How does it normally work, you know, for you?
No, I have triggers, and I sometimes don't even know what it is. I could be driving, going from A to B, not realising how I got to A to B. But then from B to C, I've listened to a song, and then from C to D, like I'm a different person by the time I walk through the door again. So like it can be anything, like, but it doesn't just happen. It is hard to explain, because like I have been really down lately. Like I've been really bad. To the point where I've been crying every day. I've shut off from the world. My page has been a little bit slow, just because how can I promote positivity when I'm not feeling positive? You know, like things like that at the time. And before that, I was absolutely fine, smiling, full of life. So to people who are close to me, they're like, so what's triggered you? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know why I'm the way that I am. If I knew why I was, then I wouldn't wake up like this. So it is difficult. Like, I think those who experience it or live with somebody that have it would understand me. But it doesn't just, it can happen, but it doesn't normally just happen. It sort of either decreases or increases.
Right. Me. Yeah. So obviously with bipolar, that's something that you just, it's not, you said to me again, we do, as people who watch the show know, that I do extensive, background. We have a conversation before the show. I get to know you a little bit more. We talk about it. So again, something I didn't know. So it's not necessarily hereditary. It can come on at any time for anyone. It's just, so anybody that feels, like you say, that it's, that. All right. So does it work both ways? If somebody in your family has bipolar, does that mean that they're more likely, less likely to have it themselves? Or is it like you say, individually, it could happen to anybody, anytime, and it's just as simple as that? Or
in my case, it's just happened at any time. So I believe, and my family do believe, I've had it for a long time, but it's been controllable. But sadly, I lost a son back in 2009. And when it came to his 10th age anniversary, I did a charitable walk for him. Got so obsessed in it that it literally took over my life. I was training every day, 10 miles to mark 10 years. But it wasn't just myself. It was my husband at the time, and, family. I had like 100 people turn up. It was children of all ages. Caleb wasn't even one, and he was on the back carrier. Got carried for 10 miles. So once that was over, I spiraled out of control. So little did I know that something that was meant to be good and like inspire others, that we can do things. And for those who have lost a child, that the memory does go on and they're not forgotten. It's not such a taboo. Actually turned me into, just changed me into my lowest part of my life. It was difficult. I pushed the closest people that I had near me the furthest away. I don't think I spoke to my mum and dad properly for about 5 months. My husband, I pushed him away, pushed friends away, because it was easier. Like I couldn't tell you why I was the way that I was. I was working up to 70 hours a week at the time, and I was a mum, so I was coming home absolutely exhausted, trying to continue as normal, but then itching to get back to work, because that was when I was at my fast-paced moment and just focusing on other people other than myself. And I've only recently been diagnosed with bipolar, but it's took a long time to be diagnosed. And now I have been diagnosed. Wow, the amount of support I've got is unbelievable, to be honest with you. But yeah, answer to your question is no, it's not always hereditary. It can be. And I do worry because I've got 3 children. And obviously things that I give off, I worry whether they'll pick up on and stuff. But to them, like I said before, they just see me as a roller coaster. So they either find me really fun, or they just think Mummy just needs a bit of time just to sit down and breathe for a moment, So they're quite understanding. They're very good, to be honest. But yeah, it can be difficult because trying to explain and accepting you've got bipolar as well is also difficult.
Wow. But like you say, it's nice for people to know that are watching, like you say, that it's, it's not just like you say, one, it's not just up and downs. There's reasons behind it. And at the same point, you're managing it, because, we're going to go on to your work now. Of all the things that you could choose for a career, you could be stacking, shelves at Tesco's, or you could be a skydiving instructor, but you decided to get straight back into it. And like you say, now you support people with difficulties as well. How does that work? Like you say, if you're having a good day, bad day, or you're not feeling 100%, it now doesn't become, you're not the main person anymore, right? Because you've now taken on a career with obviously somebody else's, needs you more than you need them, sort of thing, really.
Yeah, they do. It's challenging, not going to lie, it's challenging, but I've got an amazing team behind me. The management as well are great. They're really understanding. Obviously, I've got occupational health involved because obviously they have to risk assess me, make sure that I'm okay, I'm safe. That they have a duty of care to look after me too. But honestly, I'm so honest with them. And because of that, they have an understanding of me. And funny enough, my work colleagues know when I'm getting anxious before I am anxious.
Okay.
So that it's good. But because of the job that I'm in, it's to promote an independent lifestyle. Yes, they may not have the capacity to lead things themselves naturally like we do, but we can get out and about. Obviously, it's their choice, so as and when they want to. But that's the good thing about the work that I'm in, because if I'm having a bit of a bad day, I can suggest to, let's go to the beach or let's go for a walk. Like yesterday, I was having a picnic by Dinkley River. It was absolutely beautiful. And as much as I knew this young man was enjoying it, like I loved it because it's so peaceful. And I think that's why I love my job, because I'm lucky to have people that understand me. But to be in that line of work, you've got to have an understanding anyway, like of mental health. That's exactly what we work with, really. So like I think if I was anywhere else, I wouldn't get the support that I do now. So if I want to go and have a cry, I can go and have a cry in the office. If I want to go and have a laugh and I'm on my high, I can either get out or have a laugh in the office. Like, it's good. Like, it's supportive for me, and I'm fortunate to have people that understand me, and that's important for me, to be honest, because it's gone on for too long where I've like literally lived such a lonely life. Like I've had a room filled with people, but they have no idea what's going on in my head. So it's been very lonely. Whereas I feel like my staff members know me sometimes better than I know myself. So
yeah,
it's good.
I think with, like you say, with the bipolar and obviously the work that you do with supporting people and you're around people that obviously have mental health issues as well. I mean, you've got the whole package. You've got a good insider. I mean, with 2021 and in the news, that obviously more people are being, is the word diagnosed with having mental health issues a lot. I don't know whether that's because doctors are noticing it more now, that people are being diagnosed with it, or it's a case of, I've got to say the taboo, that it's a way for a doctor now to shrug off something else.
Yeah.
Because mental health issues, saying, oh, you're struggling with your mental health, as you've said there, that's a very large bubble. You can't just say to somebody, oh, you might be, you might have a little bit of mental health problems. Like you said there, yours is bipolar, but I mean, you've had that for so long and you've only recently been told, that, diagnosed by going backwards and forwards seeing people. I mean, how do you find it in your workplace then? Is it becoming too much of an easy way out saying the word mental health without any backing, or are you finding that doctors are now a little bit more on the ball personally?
I don't know. That one I find a bit difficult because, like, for me, like in 2015, they actually were telling me that I just had depression or chronic fatigue because of how my body was feeling. And it just went on for ages, like going backwards and forth. But for me, it took for my breakdown, weirdly enough. But it did. It took for me to have my breakdown for people to hear me. But also, there's that, like you say, there's that taboo, there's that stigma around mental health, isn't there? You don't want to admit that you've got a mental health problem. Like, you almost feel like a burden on people when you actually go around to people's houses. And do you know what? I've done it so many times where I've said, oh, can I come in just for a brew, we have catch up? Actually, we've not caught up. All we've done for the past hour is talk about me. And it's quite selfish of me. But when you're in that mindset, you can't get out of it. It's like you feel like you need to get everything out. So trying to go back to a doctor and tell a doctor, it's very fast paced. Like my psychiatrist, like they're very fast. The questions they throw at you, they don't really have, in my experience, I've not really had much compassion from a psychiatrist of like speaking. Like one told me that I just had severe depression and anxiety when I had my breakdown. But yeah, every other person I met, professional, my GP, my therapist, the therapist at my acute therapy, the team at the crisis house that I was at, like they all said, like, I have a form of a mental illness. They would never label me because it wasn't their job to. But they were like, you definitely don't have depression, because I'd go in there some days I'd be absolutely bouncing. And self-care as well. Like, some I could have a face full and make an effort, and they're like, you've not got depression. But then other days I can go in and have my head hold over my head and walk in with my head down. You know, it's so. Sometimes I don't think actually doctors know, because it's that wide. There's so many mental illnesses that I don't think they know. And even now, they're still doing things on me, like medication. Oh, I can't tell you the amount of medication they've tried me on. I feel like a guinea pig. honestly. And the amount they have me taking as well. Like, I do. I feel like a guinea pig. I'm back on Tuesday with my positive lifestyle team. Which is the first appointment I'm going to be going to with them, because there's so many different stages, you see. But I'm going to that with them. And again, they've already said they may have to like look at my meds and change my meds and see how it, because they have to constantly monitor you. Like, I'm being monitored for the next 12 months just on this medication that I'm on. So it is difficult. I don't think doctors really know until you get to that depth of severity. And then even then, they're still trying.
Well, I think what we can say is, you know, as you're living proof, you know, if you don't feel comfortable with, you know, the advice that you've gotten from somebody, you know, go reach out, find other people, find GPs, and everything that you could possibly do, you know, to get the answers that you're after. Because like you say, you can't just go to one, you know, somebody's going to have a different opinion. Like you say, on Chaturday Live, we don't give medical advice. We don't give mental health advice. We're just here to offer entertainment, and obviously just say, hey, you know, we're here just to take a break from the norm, rather than scrolling through your social media, which is a big thing at the moment. A lot of people are doing, you know, I mean, that's a question for you as well. I mean, do you find that maybe not necessarily yourself, but people you may know are having ups and downs, you know, from social media? Maybe they're seeing things, or, you know, that they've come across things, or they're scrolling too much and it's putting them in a state or either euphoria or the opposite. You know, is social media a good thing or a bad thing in your eyes?
When I was at my lowest, it was the worst thing that I could have possibly have been on. Like, I was comparing myself to everything. When people checked in, I was thinking, why have I not been invited? Like, your mind plays tricks. Whereas before, I would never have gave two hoots about it. I'd be like, oh, whatever. But when you're in that mental state where you just think, oh my God, like, I don't see any way out, and I'm crying out for people, but then I was almost getting angry. I was thinking, like, how can I not recognise that I'm actually suffering? Well, actually, like, how are they meant to know when you're just scrolling through your phone? Like, I was getting mad at things that I didn't need my reaction like that. Do you know what I mean? It made me to go into like turmoil, and in the end I deactivated social media.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me. Made my anxiety worse. Yeah, I was really bad, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're on social media. So before, we're going to have a look at your Facebook page, not your personal one. We're not going to start scrolling through your summer holidays. But what we're going to do is say, in your About section, it's very small and it's very to the blunt. We'll put it up on the screen. On Rhodes to Recovery, it literally says, I want people to know that you are not alone. You can do this, and if words just simply don't make sense, then let your art do the talking. Mental health matters. You matter. I mean, that's a very strong statement in itself, Kerry. And, you know, I might copy and paste that. Copyright it. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to have a quick look, because we're going to talk about your Facebook page now, because it's not you on your Facebook page talking about bipolar and mental health or anything. You've created a Facebook page to show people how you have an outlet on when you have a type of feeling. Not an up day or a down day. It's a feeling, isn't it? How you feel at the time, you put it down on paper, and obviously you share that with people. And so we're going to start off with going through some pictures. Obviously, we're not professional here like the BBC or anything. It's going to look so rugged and rough. But we're gonna go for it anyway. So we're going to go. So bear with me. Fingers crossed it comes up. There we go. So here's the first one. So, I mean, obviously we've got the messages on the side, but I mean, your art's fantastic. But
Thank you.
if you want to, I mean, feel free to. So yeah, we'll flick through a couple. But I mean, this one that you've got here, then. So, what made you draw this, and how did you feel at the time, and where's your inspiration come from?
My sister, actually, my younger sister Harley. To be honest, she's been my absolute rock through all this. Growing up, we were never close, but she's been literally like my left arm. Like she has been amazing, but she absolutely loves giraffes. Like she's adopted one, everything. She loves giraffes. Okay. But she might be my little sis, but she taught me to stand up tall and not be ashamed of who I am. So that's the reason why I drew that picture.
Okay, well, we're going to just
like him, to be honest.
You what, sorry?
I said I quite like him, to be honest.
I like it. I think that's a good picture. Like I say, I mean, again, they have meaning, so we're just flicking back through some. So if you could just explain again this one. This one's called Two Sides. I'm guessing for obvious reasons, but please do explain.
Yeah, that one is, well, basically what it says. There's two sides of me, and it's okay to not be okay, basically. That was my message. I do struggle, but then I do find that inner peace and can be okay. So that's it. But I love Pablo Picasso, and if anybody does follow him, he does the one-line drawing, a lot of black and white as well. So that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, to be honest. So doing my GCSEs, I never went any further than that with art. This is something I've just sort of self-taught myself, and I just loved just the simplicity of it, to be honest. I just thought it's a statement piece, and yeah, I like it. I just put it this way, I'm in a house with 3 children. If I was to write a journal and I was to pick that up, I'd be absolutely heartbroken, whereas I can put my emotions in my drawings, and that's exactly what I've done here.
Okay, so we'll flick through, see what we come across. Yeah. See, now I look at this straight away. I think that's a fantastic photo. Well, not a photo, a picture that you've drawn.
Yeah.
It's it's beautifully drawn, and as anybody knows that we've had artists on there before, I don't know what art is at all. I just know what I think looks really nice. Yeah. So don't take my word on that. But I think this is fantastic. So again, you haven't named this one, but again, where's this one come from? This
is actually one of my favourites, to be honest. I just look at it and I just think she's blossomed, like she's free. I just feel free when I look at this picture. My mum bought me some pastels, and it was my first attempt using them, but I didn't want to take away my style of art with the black and the white. But this one, I was actually in a really good place drawing this, and I just felt free at that moment. But yeah, I don't know. I just love her. I do love her.
Well, I mean, just before we click through, have you ever thought about selling anything? Have people asked you to buy it, or give you like a couple of quid and say, "Can I have it?" Or are these all for you, or would you let the world have them? Put you on the spot.
To be honest, yes, I have had people ask if they can buy them, but because I've done it for me, doing it for somebody else is a lot harder. Yes. So I have said to people, like, some of them I would keep just purely for me, but others I don't mind doing prints of, or if they do want me to do I have done personalised ones, and I have put it out that I'll do some. But at the minute, it's just purely for me. This is like my journal, if that makes sense.
Yes. Again, this one. Again, I like animals, so you've won me over here. But again, you have to explain it to me. I mean, where have you got this from? Is this an animal, or a dog, or whatever it may be?
Again, I'm relating back to my sister Harley. She told me that I was a bit too dark in some of my drawings, so she said add some colour. So I did. It's such a nice fact. Right, do you know what? Like you say, we on this show here, we do let people freely express themselves, and I'm hoping that you will appreciate this. Somebody has commented, and I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can have a look, have a read. Okay. So I said to people, please write a question, and they put, "This is not a question." Good.
more of a statement. So proud of you for being open and honest and sharing your experience. Very brave and strong woman you are. Hey?
Yes, but that's my mother.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
my mum,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's nice to know that people are nice.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't matter where you may or may not be. You know, even if it is your mother, you know, people are showing you support because, you know, we haven't quite said, so you currently live in Preston, but you don't have a Preston accent.
No.
Do we? If anybody hasn't cottoned already. So, do you say that your parents, they live in Birmingham, do they?
My dad does, and
Okay.
then my mum lives in Chesterfield, so they're both the complete opposite.
Oh, right. So, again, you know, it's still nice to see that you're getting support, you know, everywhere and anywhere. I'm glad that comments are coming through. I was just making sure I was definitely online.
Yeah.
So, thank you. So, we'll go through. Now, this one I've seen, and I've stared at this one too many times. Explain, if you may. I love it.
I love lions. I just think they're fierce. And in this, when I was drawing this, I just thought, you know what? It's strong. She's confident and she's fierce. Like, that's me. That's the person that I can be. And I like being, because I don't worry about things as much when I'm that Kerry. And I just, I love animals, to be honest. So, like, the lion, is quite strong, it's quite powerful. And the arrow, I recently learnt, means moving forward, the only direction is forward. And I put it in there just because I thought, actually, she was right. It was Lindsay, actually. Lindsay told me, and I just thought the meaning behind it was lovely, and I just thought, no, Kerry, you need to just keep moving forward. And that's how this drawing came about, to be honest.
Well, so you do drawings, and for those that know, obviously, I've recently taken a job at Kendal Town Football Club, so we're going to scroll down now and put you on the spot, because you have been asked to do some artwork, haven't you?
Yes.
And you've been put through it. So here you are now in a dark and dingy room at the football club. Obviously, you've created something here, which look at that. You know, without giving away too much of Chris's team sheet on the right hand side, but that's your artwork there. And again, it's amazing, like you say, dream big, because dreams do happen. They do, you know, and that, you know, some amazing work there. Like, we'll scroll up to more recent stuff that you've done. Now, this one, obviously, I'm really into my comics, so I love Venom, but I love this two-sidedness. And again, does this sum up, you know, to you?
No,
you know?
I was actually asked to do this for somebody.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is something you've done for somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, this is nice.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Where is the one that I'm looking for? It's here somewhere. I know it is, and I'll be upset if I don't find it, because I know it's here. Because I stalk your profile because I love this. Where is it? I think me and you spoke about it last time. I actually think that you got it up. I think it was this one, and this one spoke more words than ever, didn't it? Really? Yeah.
I love that drawing, but at the same time, it's hard because while I was actually drawing that, I cried the whole way through it. I needed to scream, and I couldn't let it out. I just couldn't let out my emotions, and I just kept on telling myself, breathe, breathe. So me there is breathing, and the inside of me is screaming, like, doesn't know when to stop. And it's hard because when I get to that point, I just shut myself off. I love the drawing. It is a statement piece, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like, when I see it, you don't forget how you feel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's quite powerful, isn't it, really? It shows
I'm glad
that
like you said.
everyone's okay.
We're glad you're sharing it. And most of all, this one here. So this is your logo for your Facebook page, everybody. Make sure that you type in Rhodes to Recovery. See this logo. That's currently the profile for the page. Make sure you go like it, follow, share. I mean, Kerry appreciates every single one of you that like and follow her page, regardless. She's in the politest possible way. You're not fishing for followers. You're literally just putting yourself out there to say, you know, this is what I do. This is my expression. You know, if you'd like to follow my little journey and see how I get on, and I think that's more important than ever. Because again, we're not putting people down. We're not slating people in any way, shape, or form. But there's a lot of people out there, obviously, that on social media that deliberately fish and they want, followers, or they want people to hear their story. You're not actively doing that. You're just putting yourself out there in the small pond of the internet and saying, look, this is me. This is my journey. If you want to be a part of it and see how I do my day-to-day life, then feel free to join me. And I think it's amazing. Yeah. So you.
Not only that, Jay, I mainly did it because I wanted to connect with people that were a bit like me. As I said previously, it can be really lonely being in a room full of people that don't have the understanding, but connecting with those who do helps me. If anything, I find it better than therapy in a way, because it's real life. Like, why should I be ashamed of who I am? Like, I've shared some videos and it's me acting in some of them, and I scared my mother at one time with one of them, but it was because I was trying to put out there that when you're in your panic frenzy moment, like, no one sees what it actually does. And I'm not going to get a camera up in front of me when, like, I am in that state, am I? So obviously I was trying to show you what bipolar can be like and what it does to somebody. Bipolar has no face. So I may look all smiley to you now, but inside you would never know how I really feel. You know, I could be crying and I could show you how I really feel. But that's the thing with bipolar, you never really know. And with my page, I just wanted to express, but without writing. Because like I said, I don't want my children to ever see my darkest thoughts or how mummy feels on a day-to-day basis. I don't want to scare anybody that picks it up or whatever, whereas my drawings, they're me. Like, some of those drawings are not all my own, and if I have done them, I've changed them in ways to make them my own. Like, I do get inspiration, so I won't say they all definitely are mine. But, like, drawing them just makes me forget everything. Like, I don't think of anything. I'm not shaking. I'm not thinking, like, what have I got to go and make for tomorrow? Like, I actually switch off, and it helps me sleep. But it also helps me calm as well when I am getting to that point where I think, do you know what, I might have a panic attack or I might struggle with my anxiety. It does bring me back down. But also it helps me connect with people. People don't send me messages about their problems. Like, I'm not educated or, in the medical profession or anything like that. So I'm glad. But when I have been quiet, people have then messaged saying, I hope you're all right. That message goes a long way because it makes you realise people actually do care, whether they know you or not. It's nice that people care. But equally, like, when people have messaged me, like, about my art or asking me how my day is, and I notice they've gone quiet, I can then ask how they are and just interact with them. And all of a sudden, you've gone from feeling like you've got nobody to having everybody. So for me, it's like a self-healing process. It's my self-medication, and it helps me. And I do it for me. Why should I be ashamed? Like, yeah, I've put a video up, and do you know what? I hesitate sometimes, thinking, oh God, do I put this up? And I'm thinking, why not? Like, why not show what bipolar can really be like? Show what it does to somebody. Show the effects it has on someone. Why can't I show it? Like, I am me. And do you know what, Joe? I think I'm actually an all right person. So despite my mental health, I won't let it define me. I won't.
Good. 100%. Well, what I like to ask as well, normally what I did when I first started the show is I would ask about music as well, because as you can see, I'm a little bit of a musician in the background here. Now, do you have go-to music? Because I know music really helps people, or, defines how people are on a day-to-day basis. Are you into your music? Do you have like a certain genre of music that gets you up and going, or,
Yeah,
go for it.
Say that, especially when I'm on the way to work. Driving at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm actually blasting dance music.
Why not? Is it like retro or modern?
It's more like modern, but I like the old school stuff as well. Though I like the mixes, like a bit of Luther Vandross with a new new dance beat. Like, I like things like that. Anything that gets me pumping. But then that can trigger me into my mania session as well. Though that's the thing. But I'd rather be that way than be on a down all the time. So yeah, I do turn to music. I don't always know the artists' names, but I know the songs.
So, like you say, you've got so much. So where does Rhodes to Recovery come from? Where did the name come from then? Because obviously,
Rhodes is actually my maiden name.
Okay, yeah.
And while I was in recovery, I stayed with my dad. I had my mum and my dad support me throughout the whole way. They were both amazing. Like, my mum travelled in lockdown, she shouldn't have done, but just to drop off a sunshine box. She didn't come anywhere near me. She just literally dropped it and said, there's something there for you outside the door, that's yours. And then my dad, I stayed with my dad because he's my support bubble and stuff like that. So, like, that's the reason why I named it Rhodes to Recovery, because there is so many roads out there for me. There's not just one, and that one isn't that dark place that I was on before. I'm not going down that road anymore. So Rhodes to Recovery is roads because I've got plenty of them, and I can choose whichever one I want to take.
So with your page and your art, then what's the future for your page? Have you got like an image in your mind, like where you'd like really like it to go to? Like you say, you're not looking for 100 million followers. You just, I mean, is it just a case of you're just going to use it as your expression outlet and just let people join you on the ride, sort of thing? Is that the idea?
Yeah. And my page is open as well. So if people actually do like doing art, like post your art on my page, like, you know, it's another way of expressing. And people can comment and post on whatever they want. It was just a free for all, a safe place, basically. There's no judgment, there's nothing, there's no right or wrong. It's just, in the long run, like, I'd suppose, yeah, I'd like to help others in a way, because people won't realise how much they helped me on my page already. So why can't I give that bit back? But helping others helps me. So, like I say, it's like a self-medication for me, but it has purely just been for me and my mind. Like, I'm not ashamed anymore, and I just wanted people to know that they're not alone. And my drawings, yeah, like, I've had quite a few people say they'd buy them and stuff, but I can't part from those that are in my book. But maybe, you never know, I might end up having the confidence to do some and put it out there. Like I say, I have done a few, but I haven't publicly put it out there. My pages are not for selling. Like, if I was to sell, I'd do that privately, maybe on Etsy or something like that.
Yes.
I don't want to take away the reasons why I've built up these pages. Like, my Instagram is more active, you know, because you can put your videos and stuff like that on, whereas the Facebook is more for my art and just people just catching up and stuff like that. So, but I enjoy both, and I look forward to, like, reading things from people, like the comments and stuff, or just connecting. So it's inspiring. They inspire me as much as what I hope I inspire them, that although I have got this illness, like I said, it doesn't define me, and I can actually, you know, build something and connect with others. So, yeah.
Well, I'd like to turn around and say, I don't think it's an illness. I think it's your personality, and it's fantastic. You know, you be you. Most of all, when I met you in person, though, down at the football club, we spoke, obviously, while you were doing that art, along the lines of, you know, you were saying the quickest thing that comes out of people's mouths is, are you okay? And then the quickest response that comes out of your mouth is, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So if anybody, not necessarily you, but maybe anybody that was to come across anybody that they thought maybe there's something a little bit underlying, maybe change the question a little bit, you know, and dig a little bit deeper in the nicest possible way. Because you said to me, you know, rather than saying, are you okay? It's like, anything I can help you with.
Yeah.
Trigger a response in a conversation, and, you know, and that probably helps you a lot more, doesn't it?
Yeah, I say this all the time. Because saying I'm fine is really easy, and it sort of shuts the conversation off. Whereas saying to somebody, you know, is there anything I can help you with? You know, would you like to go for a walk today? You're sort of opening that door. You may not get anything back, but then to me, when people do question me like that instead, it helps me open up and relax a little bit. Whereas the question, are you okay, for me, it heightens my anxiety. Because I just think, I don't want to just go, bleh. Do you know what I mean? Whereas going on a walk with somebody, or somebody saying, can I help in some way, just sort of eases it a bit. Yeah.
So really, what we're trying to do is we're trying to start a blanket campaign to get rid of the "Are you okay?" phrase. Really, because all it does is that you're. I think if somebody genuinely is asking, "Are you okay?" 9 times out of 10, they probably know the response anyway, because it's so generic. Because everybody says it, regardless who you are.
Yeah.
Just go, "Are you okay?" Go, "Yeah, I'm fine." You know, you could have just come out from like a huge crying fit, and you'd be like, "I'm fine."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like you say, you know, it's about asking the question, getting the response, and you know, so anybody that's watching, you know, if you find, well, we do promote you guys to obviously call your friends up, send them a text, you know, check what they're up to, how you been up to today, what you've been up to, you've been out, you've been anywhere, you know, have you gone to see your mum? I always do that with my friends, probably a little bit too much. I'm on the phone to them all the time, like FaceTiming them, just saying, where you been, what you doing, you know. But again, it's sparking a conversation, and I hope people that watch the show as well will start doing that a lot more. You know, spark conversations with people. Don't shut your conversations off. Like you say, you can find Kerry on her Facebook page, on Rhodes to Recovery. You've seen the logo there. We'll put it back up. So it's this one, which is currently on there at the moment. It may change, depending on how Kerry feels. So she may get a new one and create a new one and whatnot. How's that Coke, Kerry? All right?
Yeah, it's nice, thank you.
Yeah, so and again, head over to the Instagram page. You know, like you say, Kerry's a little bit more active on the Instagram as well. Interact, leave comments, leave messages of support, or question the art. Kerry will quite happily say, "Oh, well, yeah, I'm happy to give you a little bit more information on it, whatever." You know, don't be afraid to start a conversation, because that's exactly what it's there for, you know, to hopefully open the door to start a conversation with people, get to know people, make more friends, you know, spread the word, as they say, on what's going on. I don't think there's enough hours in the day. I think I could speak to you all night, Kerry, and we could just sit here, get you on one of your highs and just let you go nuts, and I can go off and have my dinner or something. Like, you could take over the show. But, you know, as you do, like you say, hopefully we'll see more art, and hopefully we'll have you back on the show. That's what I'd like to see anyway, if you're happy for that.
Yeah.
How are your nerves? You've managed to go 50 minutes and you're still here.
I'm doing all right.
Good. That's all that matters. Like you said, I told you it'd be fine. And the people have been showing support. They're liking and they're joining and they're watching. They're here. So if you're still watching now when you haven't commented yet, then say hello. Just say hello, or hit the like button, the love heart button, the angry button. I don't care. I don't really take offence to it. You know, it's hit a button. Show us that you're still there. Show us that we're all supporting each other on the internet. I guess the question that we didn't touch upon, obviously you said that obviously you're a mother of 3, full-time work, go.
Yeah.
Like you say, I mean, what's your go-to? What's your happy place? What's your general happy place or happy thing? Is it chocolate? Or do you like going somewhere? You know, do you have like a place that you like to go? Because like you said, you went and sat down by the river the other day. You know, that was quite nice with your clients. But do you have like a regular place that, you know, makes you feel a bit more comfortable?
I like anywhere scenic, to be honest. I love walking. I follow all trails, and I do trails off that, to be honest. I think my longest one I've done has took me 6 hours. That was at Derwent Water in Keswick. And I absolutely loved it. I'd say that's sort of been like my happy place go to, just because it's just got everything there. It's just anywhere, to be honest with you. I love walking. Formby Beach is a favourite of mine. It's absolutely beautiful. Just anywhere where I can breathe and just feel the wind go through my fingers, hit against my face, whether it's raining, sunny or whatever. Just any time, I just love. But when I'm on my down, it's hard because I want to do it, but my body's not allowing me to do it. Do you know what I mean? So it can be quite difficult, but I still push myself to get out and about every day. But yeah, I love a river. Absolutely love a river. Just hearing the waves go down and watch it calm, and yeah, it's just lovely.
I think we had this discussion. You like Disney as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So, because I don't know if it's still on your page. It is on your page, isn't it?
Yeah.
The picture. I'm gonna have to quickly. Yes, I'm gonna have to quickly find it. Hopefully, it's near the top because you've recently done it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Is it recent?
Done it, yeah.
See if I
Might be my last one, actually.
Oh, here we go. Look, I'm going to be all over the shop here. There it is. Right, you've got to see this because I think this is fantastic. Before we go anyway, we'll put it back up on the screen. Check that out. So, as Kerry said, these aren't necessarily all original designs. This one's obviously a copy. A copy. Can we ask for more Disney stuff whenever you get round to it? Because it's fantastic. I love Disney stuff.
Yeah.
But this, did you say this one was? Did you say that your niece asked you for this one?
It was my daughter.
Right, there we go. Yes.
Yeah, my daughter. She loves Disney as well, and she was asking me to draw something happy, so I did. So, Beauty and the Beast is my favourite ever film. I absolutely love it, and I just love Little Chip. So that's where
there we go. Yeah. There we go. Look, and another bit of support here from Lindsay Goodyear. I love the painting I have from you. Stay strong and remember, you are loved. Never give up. That's from Lindsay. So we share the love on this page. We put the comments up there. Like you say, share the love. Make sure you go over to Kerry's Facebook page and Instagram. Are you on anything else? Before I forget, are you on? No Twitter or now, just like that?
No. Crikey, I can't keep up with those some days. So yeah, the two's enough.
The two's enough. Well, make sure you do go over there. We've reached our hour now, and you've survived.
Yay!
Maybe don't watch it back. That's all. We just leave it, let it go, as they say. But it's fantastic having you here. The support has come through. It's amazing. The likes. The thank you very much to everybody. We'll have you on again, hopefully, when we're allowed to obviously meet up in person a little bit more and do more. Then maybe we'll do a face-to-face interview as well, and maybe you'll have some more drawings for us as well we can go through. But as always, thank you very much for joining us on the show. Don't disappear just too yet, but I'm going to send you off the screen while I say my goodbyes and do my Jerry Springer final thoughts, as they say. Thank you very much, Kerry. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Amazing guest, absolute amazing guest, and thank you very much for all of you guys for sticking around. I know that Ant and Dec's on the TV, and you've had to put it on record this evening to watch me and Kerry talk. That's exactly what this show is about, making sure that we do spot the people that make a difference, and Kerry does make a difference, even though she doesn't realise she does. Just posting her stuff on the internet or on Instagram and Facebook makes my day. It makes a load more people's day, and hopefully if you don't already, go over to her Facebook page, on her Instagram, stick it on your feed, and then rather than seeing what good old Boris Johnson's waffling all about down your Facebook page, maybe you'll come across one of Kerry's paintings or drawings, and it might just make you feel a little bit better throughout the day. Once again, my name is Jay Robinson, the host of Chaturday Live. If you haven't already done so, give my page a like as well. It appreciated. It helps me get more guests on my show and help them get spotted and noticed as well, and keeping people connected. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all again hopefully